has finding the right apartment been extremely difficult and time-consuming task. Apartments are never secure and you never know how long it would take to work the glass.
You ever call up a landlord and wait forever for them to pick up? Or worse yet, they answer but don't answer any of your questions? These are busy and stressed out people too. So how can we help everyone? Well, with QuickRental, of course, students, parents, and UE staff members will never have to face them again. Not to mention, make it easier for landlords to advertise their apartments and contact prospective tenants, all from the convenience of their phone.
We are here to present QuickRental, an all-in-one mobile app to help students at the University of the West Indies avoid the hassle of finding the right apartment while saving money in the process. This project endeavors to enhance the lives of the students at UE by making it easier to decide on which housing would be best for them to rent. The simple user interface would enable users to find apartments, townhomes, and houses for rent using GPS location and mapping, check real-time availability, price ranges, type of apartment, be it double room, studio, etc., and read comments submitted by other renters to gain insights about properties. Our virtual tour feature would also give prospective tenants an immersive and enjoyable experience into the layout of the apartment. Most importantly, advanced searching will enable them to find the ideal apartment that perfectly suits their needs. Live chat functionality will then ease communication between the landlord and prospective tenant.
There are a lot of factors that affect the feasibility of the app. First of all, with scalability, Firebase does a lot of the heavy lifting, providing us with a very high throughput so we can have thousands of simultaneous users. Next, we have reliability. We made sure that QuickRental was rigorously tested. In addition, React Native makes sure that the app will work perfectly fine on both iOS and Android without any additional work. Finally, we have security. This is an important aspect. All personal user information is encrypted, such as their passwords and emails. Furthermore, with Facebook and Google Login, we can exploit their KYC, Know Your Customer processes, to reduce the potential of spam users. Clearly, our app doesn't have much in the way of competition. Services that are suitable for students and staff on the campus, like Oasis, don't have much in the way of features, polish, or even usability. Apps that are feature-rich and have a lot of polish are not appropriate or relevant to students, really, and they're definitely not tailored for campus areas. Users can download and use our app for free. It doesn't cost them anything to view listings. Landlords could also post their listings for no upfront cost. It's only after the apartment has been rented through our app would they need to pay a 15% commission.
For the functional goals, a user can register an account with QuickRental as a landlord or prospective tenant. Landlord accounts will be able to add and edit apartment listings, while other users can browse the listings, make comments, and direct message the landlord while improving personal relations. Users will then be able to perform an advanced search to find their ideal apartment. For the strategic goals, we employ the agile development approach with pair and extreme programming as well as the Scrum methodology, where we got to be the Scrum leader and product owner for each iteration. Additionally, we continue and spoke to landlords and prospective tenants after each increment to get feedback. For our quality goals, we hope to improve tenant retention by 75% by 2020. Additionally, we aim to improve customer satisfaction by at least 30% by 2020. We also aim to improve overall quality and standards of St. Augustine apartments by 50% by 2020. This can be accomplished by improving exposure of apartment listings by 50% by September 12, 2020 and reducing perceived risk by providing risk assessment through tenant comments by 30% by August 1, 2020.
The main technologies used were React Native, a JavaScript framework that allows the easy building of iOS and Android apps, Expo, a toolchain with many useful components built in, such as their Maps API, the Redux library, which also served as our architecture, and finally Firebase as our database solution. Firebase was instrumental to much of our functionality. In essence, it receives requests to either send data to the app or save data, not to mention providing a cloud messaging service that facilitated our live chat and storage for images. Finally, we used GitHub for version control and to better facilitate team and task coordination. To explain a little bit about how our application works, we must understand the Redux architecture. Redux, in a nutshell, provides a way for us to maintain the app state between screens. The user interacts with the app, which causes an action to be dispatched. These actions are then responsible for what is presented to the user and how these states are modified. An example of a maintained state would be the user's profile or even animations. In essence, the React Native mobile application sends a request to Firebase, and Firebase will then see fit how to deliver on this request. So the application may be asking for a particular apartment listing, or to post a particular apartment, and Firebase may then authenticate this request and return the result in a JSON format. In addition, Firebase will see about our live chat functionality, handling the sending and receiving of messages between users, as well as storing our images for these apartments.
This sequence diagram follows adding an apartment as the use case. Only authorized users will have access to the screen to add an apartment. If they are not, then the function will simply not appear and an error message sent. They must enter the appropriate information and a confirmation is presented to them. Once the information has been verified, it will be presented in the apartment listings. As with any app, we have a sidebar menu, but also an attractive welcome screen that shows the loading of the app. To ensure security for our users, we allow them to create a customized account and securely log in. All activity and posts link back to this. Of course, users must be able to reset their passwords if they forget. Users can customize their accounts further and even link social media to it, such as their Facebook and Twitter accounts. The app settings screen lets users change the behavior and appearance of the app, like turning on push notifications and switching to the dark theme. First and foremost, the app must present apartment listings to the users in an attractive and readable view. To speed up their viewing, they may switch between a card or list view, choosing either more detailed or more viewable listings. Most importantly, we allow users to perform fine-tuned searching of the listings based on tailored criteria to find their ideal apartments. Tapping on any of these listings will allow them to see more detail and pictures for the listings, including an interactive map, comments, and live chats.
Tenants can leave comments with their opinions on an apartment. This goes hand in hand with the heart system, where users can choose to like an apartment. We prioritized easing the communication between the landlords and the prospective tenants. That's where the live chat function came in, allowing the users to exchange messages privately. Users can click the plus button to bookmark an apartment. When they bookmark it, it'll appear on the bookmarks page, and this will give them the added benefit of notifying them if anything changes about it, such as the price or availability. The Add Apartment screen is available strictly to the landlord. It's the main functionality for the app, and it's how it's populated with apartment listings. Landlords enter the relevant information and images to the page, and the listing will soon be visible in the results or the homepage. When landlords add apartments, these listings are shown in their profile. Because of this, only landlord profiles need to be public. The profile page also gives the users the option to link their social media and change passwords. Based on feedback from the landlords, we decided not to implement a reviews feature. Landlords thought that disgruntled former tenants might leave bad reviews, and then that would hamper their business.
The app was improved incrementally based on the feedback received from our stakeholders. With Jest, we made sure to perform stringent unit tests of these changes to make sure the app performed well and accurately. It was important to make sure these systems worked well together through integration testing of the user interface. Database testing was found unnecessary. Finally, with the assistance of 27 students and 6 landlords, we performed acceptance testing to ensure the app worked well in real users' hands and suited their needs.
Our biggest challenge came from our most important tool. While Expo is supposed to allow for quick development and testing, it proved a severe limitation and hindrance. Many libraries were unusable and push notifications are not yet supported. It also made finding bugs and errors in the code quite a chore.
In the future, we plan to fully implement a virtual tour feature where users can easily add photos of their apartment to create a virtual tour. Additionally, user preference will be asked for at user creation. Therefore, the apartment with selected criteria to match the user preference will appear at the top of the screen. Using map longitude and latitude received from the map API, the walking distance from the apartment to the user inputted faculty will be calculated and shown. A dashboard with the apartment statistics such as the amount of hearts in an apartment, comment, views, and tenant retention will be displayed to the landlord. QuickRental will be deployed on both Android Play Store and Apple App Store. There will be a push notification system where the updates about the bookmarked apartments will be sent to the user's phone in real time. To better connect prospective tenants to their ideal apartments and landlords to their ideal tenants, based on user preference as well as studying social media network connections via Facebook, a graph database will be used. Pre-existing social networking data from Facebook can be used to link students to their ideal apartments. That also brings them closer to like-minded individuals and friends. We also hope to implement an interactive tutorial screen and a functional search bar. Finally, payments of rent or deposit will be made available within the app.
We've designed QuickRental to be a highly modular and dynamic system. This means you would be able to extend it for any university campus, locally or internationally. You could even use it as a general apartment rental app as opposed to just university apartments.